Okay, so let me just go ahead and give a little bit of context on this. I found this video a little while ago, but I kind of held off on watching it because I wanted to watch it on stream. I watched a little bit of it, but I kind of like stopped after a certain point and I was like, you know what, I'll watch the rest of this on stream. But I never did. Today, I saw a few videos about Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and that made me want to go back and watch this video because this video is about Brawl. The first Smash Bros. Game that I ever played was Brawl. I played Brawl. I went to a handful of tournaments, but I was 13 years old, so I couldn't go to a lot of tournaments. Never won any. This was back when people would look down on people who played video games, back when video games weren't taken seriously at all. So literally, if I asked my parents to drive me any more than like 20 minutes in any direction to play a game, they thought that I was fucking crazy. I only went to like a handful of tournaments. I can probably count on one hand the amount of tournaments that I went to. I don't even think there was a payout for any of the tournaments I went to. I literally think it was like the winner gets this new controller or like this cool flat screen TV. But it was a special time because I did have a lot of fun with Brawl. I mained Pit, by the way, in case you're wondering. But like I said, a few months ago, Nakat uploaded this video. It's called The Era of Soul, and it's about Brawl. So I wanted to go ahead and watch it on stream. It's only 13 minutes long, so let's go ahead and get to it. Whoever drew this, beautiful, just beautiful. Most special era of Smash. A lot of people look down on Brawl.
Super Smash Bros. Brawl. What a game. A game that most people don't actually remember in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the Smash franchise. Well,
he's not wrong.
At least competitive players, so to speak. The tryhards. However, what if I told you
what non-Brawl players think Brawl looks like? This couldn't be any more accurate.
The tryhards. However, what if I told you to this day, Super Smash Bros. Brawl is still one of my favorite games in the entire Smash franchise. Now, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I think Smash Bros. Is a horrible game.
Was Nakat an Ice Climbers
main? For a multitude of reasons. But that's not what this video is about. When it comes to the lineage of Smash Brothers, Smash 64 was the gateway. It was pretty much the outline of the potential of future titles, right? Melee comes out. Shit,
Melee's
I didn't
the
even
GOAT.
know Melee was out until I think maybe 2 years after it came out. Don't even know how that happened, but you know, I came late. However, played Melee, it was great. But Brawl is really special to me because Brawl was the first endeavor into the competitive scene. A scene that I didn't...
I forgot that Smashville came out on Brawl. Wasn't Town and City Smash 4?
Even know existed, right? Brawl to me felt like the true beginnings of not only the Smash 4 community, but the Ultimate community. Because Brawl was the game where you play that and then the new game comes out and then the whole community moves on to the new game. Then the new game comes out, Ultimate. Everybody moves to that. And I like Ultimate, even with its issues. But Brawl
as Steve comes up.
Now,
totally like random side tangent here. I've never had a problem with Steve. I also understand that I was really late into Ultimate, but like I've never had an issue with Steve. I don't get what everyone's like big deal is with him. I've never had an issue with Steve.
The community felt like such a different time that it will always be near and dear to me in my heart. Now, to get this out of the way, I think Meta Knight and Ice Climber should have been banned. I think both of those characters were horseshit. However, out of all the top tiers that we've had to deal with so far when it comes to Smash 4 and Ultimate, I do think even though Meta Knight and Ice Climbers were batshit broken, they actually required a good amount of knowledge and skill to pilot and make them actually.
This was ridiculous. The chain grappling that Ice Climbers had was ridiculous. I remember one of the locals that I went to for Brawl, someone got eliminated after facing an Ice Climbers and they got chain grabbed just like that. And I just remember like they were holding the Wiimote like sideways like this, and then they just got chain grabbed. I think they finally broke out of the chain grab. They just walked off the edge. They literally just walked off the edge and SD. They were just like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. And they just like set the Wiimote down, turned around and left the building.
For some reason, when it comes to getting rid of the characters like the Meta Knights, the Ice Climbers, or the Bayonettas and the Clouds, or of course the Kazuyas and the Steves, it just don't happen for some reason. And I bet you in the next Smash game, Whoever else is batshit or just unhealthy for the game will also be playable. When Brawl was coming out,
Can't wait.
when it was announced, I was super excited, right?
I wonder who the next broken character is going to be
and Super
in
Smash
Smash
Bros. Brawl
6.
trailer comes on, and you see of all fucking characters, Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Seeing Snake was insane because that meant like any game outside of Nintendo was fair play for Smash. Like I said, Brawl was the first Smash game I ever played, but I knew of Melee. I knew what Melee was. I knew what Smash Bros was, and when I saw that Snake and Sonic were coming out for Brawl, I was just like, how in the fuck? Like that, I thought Smash Bros was just a Nintendo game, and they're getting Snake in here?
Joining the battle. That
just meant like anyone can come in.
Be like, oh shit, yo, we can get third-party characters. Oh my god, who else is coming? And of course, we got Sonic, which you find out in Subspace Emissary, or you found out on the Smash Dojo, the website where they gave updates on Brawl quite frequently. I remember checking that website like a motherfucker. Oh my god. Before Brawl, people were ready for the next big thing. I remember going to the GameStop tournaments for the opening.
Oh, the
for Brawl
GameStop tournaments. I remember
It
that.
was me and Hacker. I remember back. You know, GameStop tournaments are not really like the definition of what a competitive Smash tournament is.
Nope.
But
Should
damn,
never
that was
be.
my first tournament. Like, I'm excited.
I remember
got second in
GameStop
mine.
Brawl tournaments.
And back then, you know, if you weren't
Never
really
did good in them.
introduced to the competitive, there's this notion that Brawl isn't a competitive game. It has tripping. It
Yeah,
doesn't have
tripping
enough
was
hit
stupid.
stun. Yeah, but yada yada yada. But that notion usually came from people that, one, didn't understand the game at all, and two, didn't even play it long enough to see the meta develop. To say there were no combos in Brawl was just absolutely wrong. However, I could see where that interpretation would come from when Melee has hit stun that lasts for a fucking year every time you get hit. Not saying that's a bad thing, but for some that is definitely a turnoff. To be able to grind a game where it also felt rewarded for when you got good until you got chain grabbed at 0 by the Ice Climbers, you know, man, like, it was great. And I had a lot of fun playing
Chain
Fox and
grabbing was a
developing his
nightmare.
meta and trying my best to essentially make him the best character.
I never
he
really
could be
had
before I
to
swapped over. In some ways, I wish I never swapped off a Fox.
Deal with
but
chain grabbing too much
ultimately,
back
it was
in the
best
day,
choice
but
competitively. And when you look at the
The
game,
Subspace
single-player
Emissary was
content,
so
Subspace
fun.
Emissary, I don't think we're ever going to get something that
although it was
amazing
long as
again,
hell.
ever. It was fun to play. It was fun to see characters cross over into different universes and interact with each other, right? And then everybody comes together at the end to defeat the big bad. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Brawl was the epitome of packing single player content into a Smash game, because after that,
I wish
shit,
Ultimate
we were
had the
losing
events.
modes, everything, man. It was just like, yeah,
I
fuck
really
this.
do.
We're not doing this anymore. And I feel like a part of what made Smash was the ability to continuously add, expand upon, and that just feels like after Brawl, it was just, what can we take away? What can we take away? What can we take away? Oh, players don't care about this stuff. They just
Yeah,
wanna
adventure
fight each
mode's
other all
gone,
day.
target
Now,
smash is
keep in
gone,
mind,
the
as a
events are
competitor,
gone.
I don't play the single player content that much, but Brawl's single player content was so attractive, you couldn't really ignore it. Twitter wasn't really a thing. The only streams we really had were Clash tournaments and VG Bootcamp, and so, to be honest, social media didn't matter. Nobody gave a fuck about clout or getting clouted up. It was all about being good at the game. The respect that you got was because you were good at the game and you were performing.
Yeah.
And you were making.
When
a name
people
for yourself.
recognized you
The
at a tournament,
notoriety of
that
actually being
felt
a good
great.
player and actually climbing the ranks and climbing the ladder. That is what mattered the most. And so, after every tournament, and of course I'm mad young, so whatever I make at a tournament, before I even was making money, but when I started making money, whatever I made at a tournament, I save it, go to the next tournament, take that, go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one. It was just a very, I don't know, passion-driven time. We had Smash Sports to communicate. We had All Is Brawl, which to me still is the...
Like, I loved the esports scene back in the day because it was literally just, you didn't get a lot of money out of it, and it wasn't seen as a high thing, as like a big thing. So it was literally just like, you are there for the love of the game. You are not there to make a living, because you're pretty much only making enough. Even if you win, you're only making enough to travel to the next tournament. You're not really making a shitload of money. I miss old esports because it's literally just like, it wasn't about the money. Literally, I remember watching live streams of Halo esports, and it was literally just like, it looked like it was in some dude's garage or in some dude's basement. And now you look at like Valorant tournaments, you look at Smash Bros tournaments, you look at Evo, you look at all these big tournaments. There's like so much razzle dazzle and so much like a big ass stage and lights everywhere. And don't get me wrong, I love the razzle dazzle. I love how extra esports has gotten. I just miss back in the day when it was simple. I just miss back in the day where it was all just for the love of the game. You weren't doing it for a paycheck. You were doing it because you loved the game and you loved the competitive aspect of it. And nowadays it just seems like a lot of players don't really have that passion. They're just sort of there. I don't know. It might be weird, but I kind of like it before when video games were more of a taboo thing to like.
Epitome of the best website
That might just be nostalgia glasses
that you could ever make
that I have,
Super
but
Smash
still.
Bros. And so, damn, I missed that site thinking about it. The blogs.
I never went on this website.
Tournament medals, everything. It was so good. Damn, that ladder was so good.
I was
too.
always on game
You
battles.
guys have to be there. But regardless,
Like I said, I
it was
grew up with
always about the
Halo
game.
more than Smash Bros. And
always about
looking
the
back, I
game.
kind of
Most
wish I would have
players and everybody was
stuck
really
with
committed
Brawl
to just
and
showing that
I
they
would've
could
got a
be the
Wii
best
U
with
and
whoever they
went with
made
Smash
and
4.
potentially be a part of the best region in the world. There was a lot of regional pride, crews, everything. And I feel
I was more of a Halo kid growing up. I would go back and forth between like Smash Bros and Halo. I mostly stuck with Halo. After Brawl had run its course and it was time for the Wii U and Smash 4, I didn't care for the Wii U, so I never got a Wii U. So I never played Smash 4. I kind of dropped Brawl after it became kind of irrelevant. And I kind of wish I would have got a Wii U and played Smash 4 looking back on it now, because now that I'm getting back into the community, it's so fun. The community is so amazing. The community of Smash is so fun. It can be a little cringe and a little iffy sometimes, but what community isn't like that? Then again, to be fair, when the Wii U came out, I was like just becoming an adult. My parents were going through a divorce. I was getting my first job. I got married not like pretty early on in my adulthood. So like a lot more was going on with my life than just video games. I feel like it wasn't just like, oh, I dropped Smash Bros for Halo, or I dropped Smash Bros for any game. It was more so I dropped Smash Bros and video games in general to live my life a little bit. And looking back on it, I kind of wish I would have found a way to keep video games around. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't drop gaming entirely. I still played casual gaming, but it was more like I played couch gaming rather than with, you know, my friends in the same room, rather than competed in trying to get good at a game. But still, I just kind of wish I would have kept grinding at, like, whether it be Smash Bros or Halo, because I was actually really cracked at Halo. I feel like I could have gone pro at Halo had I continued on with it, but life got in the way.
regionals and then majors. We only had one major a year, and that was Apex, right? So that was you only got one time a year.
Obviously, I never went to
really
Apex.
prove that you were hot shit at the major of the year. Keep in mind, playing Brawl meant you weren't playing for a lot of money. You were broke as fuck. Everybody was broke. Again, social media wasn't that big.
Like I said, back in the day, you did it for the love of the game. You went to tournaments for the love of the game. If you were going for cash, then you were in the wrong place.
Power rankings held more weight. It was always a top 10. Always a top 10. You never really saw 15-man, 20, 40-man power rankings. None of that. Top 10. Work
Nowadays,
hard,
there's like
get on the power
thousands
ranking.
of
If you
people.
didn't make it, work harder next season. I really miss the way we functioned back then in terms of like just
that was
focusing on
dirty.
the game. And I think that's
How is it that on this screen, Meta Knight is the one who's been eliminated?
usually people go out to get food and chill and have conversations, whether it's still about Brawl or it's just about anything else that we all
That's
enjoy.
what I love about the
Because at the end of the
community.
day, going to
It's a
tournaments is an
tight-knit
experience where
community.
you get to meet.
Again, that's one of those things, like, people go to have fun. They don't go to win. Winning, yeah, sure, is great, but it's more so just like a big group of friends getting together and playing Smash Bros or whatever the game is. Like Halo or Call of Duty or anything. Back in the day, it was literally just such a tight-knit group of people. It wasn't really just a bunch of people coming together and competing. It was more so just a bunch of friends coming together and enjoying their hobby. One of them, or maybe three of them, walking away with some quiche.
And hobby is you. And I think that at the end of the day, is why Brawl in a nutshell means so much to me. I like new things. And so Brawl being what it was enough for me. Tripping included. Even though nobody likes that mechanic and it's gone for a reason, it is a part of what makes Brawl Brawl. And honestly, if I could go back in time and change anything, I wouldn't change a damn thing.
Brawl was a fun time. Go and like that video. Make sure you go like and subscribe to Cat. He makes some pretty banger videos. Like I said, Brawl was a fun time. I competed a little bit, went to like probably a handful of tournaments, a handful of locals that never really had any payout. But ultimately, it was fun, and I miss how esports used to be back in the day. I really do.